What's going on, guys? Welcome to Snake Talk Saturday night. We have a couple of good friends of mine in the house tonight. We've got Stephen Kush, and of course, we've got Desiree. We've got from Reptile, Cold-Blooded Cafe in the house from Indiana. I appreciate you guys beyond belief hanging out here. So we're going to have a good time. You guys ready?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us
on.
on.
All right, cool. And Des, I would just keep that mic a little closer to your face so that you don't...
sound like you're far away.
So you don't sound,
about a fist or less.
Yeah, usually about yay big. So anyways, regardless, I appreciate everyone joining us tonight. As we keep going here, as always, you can hit us up with Super Chats if you want to ask a question from you guys. So first off, you guys are always crazy busy. Tell us a little bit for people that don't know, what you guys are about. You obviously, you can tell me about Cold-Blooded Cafe and you can tell me about Reptile. So go ahead, go for people that don't know, and then we'll get into some other topics as we go along here.
All right. So we manage Cold-Blooded Cafe. It's a feeder rodent company. So we're selling mice and rats. We actually have some day-old chicks coming online soon.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
Some African soft-furred rats.
Oh, now there's going to be frozen.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Everything's frozen that we ship out. And then we also manage a pretty big reptile collection called Reptile. So you want to elaborate on that, Stephen?
Yeah. I mean, as you know, all of us are reptile lovers. The rodent side of things kind of evolved to support the reptiles, ended up blowing up to now, for anyone who isn't aware of us, we're shipping everywhere in the nation, one of the largest online retailers of frozen feeders. And kind of parallel in the process has been the growth of the reptile collection. We have a pretty wide diversity of species, pythons, colubrids, boas, some monitors, crocodilians, venomous, you name it.
Yeah, I saw you guys started getting into some venomous stuff. What prompted that? Because last time I was down, you guys didn't have anything. Tell me, what do you guys have and what prompted you to get into them?
So primarily it's all montane, primarily rattlesnakes.
Okay.
We have some mangshans, Bitis parviocula, some palm vipers, some beaded lizards as well.
Okay.
So
you guys have had beadeds for a while, right?
Yeah.
Just the Alvarezi, or do you have...
we have some exasperatum as well, but the Alvarezi are the main.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, so those are really good. That's the thing, I mean, as, what's the, obviously... Those are two really separate companies. I mean, in the sense of doing things. Oh, look at Jay came in. Say hi to Jay for everybody. Oh, big water.
Thank you.
Oh my
That's
God.
so
This
nice
is
of you.
What a guy.
This is Uber Eats showed up with the waters. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're the best. Jay, we love you. Oh, I got a banana just in case you want to eat a banana on the podcast. Oh my gosh, Nutella creams. And a sucker. An orange one. I'm not really into the orange one though. Could you come back with a chocolate one?
No, but no.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you.
I love you too.
Appreciate you.
We got. By the way, Jay, when are you coming on the podcast? You've never been on my podcast. He's got a podcast fear, he said.
Podcast phobia.
You got a podcast phobia? Paphobia?
Apophobia.
Okay. Well, let us know in the comments, guys, if you want to see Jay the Edutainer or Jay the Tingle or Private Tingles.
The private tingle, yeah.
Private Tingles. It could be me, you, and Noah. It could be me, you, and Noah. What do you guys call it? I think they call themselves the Oreo Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Oreo Bros.
I've heard that. That's going around.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the merch dropping soon. Go to OreoBros.com.
All right.
I guarantee you there's already an OreoBros.com.
It's probably
Yeah, if
Super
there
popular.
isn't, someone just bought it right now.
yeah.
So, all right. But like I was saying, Jay's a great guy, and we'll get him on a podcast. It's strange that Jay. That's weird that we've never had Jay on, right?
Yeah, I think it was because usually he worked the weekends, so we're doing on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. So
that's
he
what
was
it
always
normally was.
he was always working the Reptarium, and now that he's a schlep and doesn't work the Reptarium, but no, I think he'll be back working Reptarium in a few weeks if I'm
Which
not
is
mistaken,
crazy.
Which is crazy to think. That's wild. But so back to the thing. Now, the rodent thing is interesting because like you said, you guys used to wholesale everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like all you ever
That's all
did,
we
and then
did.
and then
Underground, quiet, no website, nothing.
and now it's like, do you do all retail? Or you still wholesale?
I have a few wholesale customers still.
But still, most of it's retail now. So
Wow.
how many boxes about do you send out?
Weekly,
100.
yeah, I mean, between 100 and 180
Wow.
weekly on, depending on
That's crazy.
season and whatnot. But yeah,
How'd you deal with
crazy.
UPS or FedEx?
UPS.
UPS, okay. They're the better rate as far as ground. Did you do ground? Is that what it is? It's like 2 day, 3 day, something like that, or what is it?
Yeah, 1 to 4 day.
1 to 4 day.
But if it's a 4 day, we're sending it 3 day select, just because of the delays. Like it's just been so bad.
I mean, COVID took a toll on shipping. I mean, everyone experienced
reptiles
it.
have been horrible.
Yeah,
we fight with FedEx literally on the daily. Yeah.
It's hard to sleep on nights when you have snakes in the air.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
crazy is that, what bothers me about FedEx is that, like, we pay the priority overnight rate so that they're there by 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they're not there by 10 in the morning, they're like, well, yeah, but we can't guarantee that. And then it's like, what do you mean? You can't get, it's like, it's guaranteed by 10 in the morning, but you can't guarantee it by 10 in the morning. And then, in the past, pre-COVID, if they didn't get it there by 10 in the morning, they would give you a rebate.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Now they don't. Now like, oh, sorry, we
course
just
not.
can't guarantee. And sometimes it doesn't show up till 3 o'clock. So then I could have paid half the price for just an overnight instead of priority overnight. But yeah, I'm paying twice the money. It's just messed up. Like, I don't understand what kind of crazy world we're in,
Yeah, my favorite part is that we drop off at the Indy hub, one of the 2 main FedEx hubs.
Yeah.
And we'll have packages that sit for a full 24 hours before they get on a flight.
Oh,
They had to wheel a cart from where we drop off to the plane.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's the process.
That's the process.
And it'll sit there for a full day.
And I wonder, is it, I think that, so in the beginning of COVID, not the beginning, but as we got into like stimulus season and stuff like that, I could understand a little bit because there was such an excess of people had a lot of money and they were just spending money. I mean, I know like us, we would ship like, on a normal BHB day, we're shipping 30 or 40 boxes, right? During COVID, we were doing like 100 boxes a day, every day.
Yeah.
So I understand like this huge increase in shipping and probably even maybe a decrease in employees, pilots and stuff like that because of COVID issues and so on like that. But now we're past that, right? Like, things have slowed down. We're back to shipping the same thing we did before COVID. But yet FedEx has now used this excuse.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
It's like it's the new norm, right?
Yeah, so now we don't have to pay you your money back very
Yeah.
much.
I
Yeah, we
think
can be
it's-
lazy.
It's definitely a staffing issue too. No one
Yeah.
wants to stay employed, and they've like taken their benefits away and changed a lot of things. Like we've heard a lot of different stuff through the
Right.
grapevine, through UPS employees and our representative. Like this past summer, apparently all the veteran drivers that they have had all this vacation built up.
Oh,
and so
and
they
just
all
like, I'm
took
taking it all.
They all took it at the same time.
Was it like an FU to
I don't know what it was,
UPS?
but we saw this influx of delays. Like literally every week, 10 plus shipments were being delayed and not arriving on time. And I finally said something, and he shows up and like has this conversation with us, and that was their excuse. And he's like, it should start getting better. Like they've
After the vacations all burned up.
after their vacations, everybody's going back to
Crazy,
school.
right.
I mean,
I'm
that seems like something like a
"What?"
little tiny company would have that problem, but not UPS.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
come on, guys, you can schedule your vacations a little bit better.
Like the
yeah.
other night, we always have 2 pickups. We have like an early pickup and then a night pickup. And the other night, they picked up everything but maybe a pallet worth of boxes. And we show up in the morning, and they're still sitting there. And this is a Monday. And they
Sheesh.
know like that we ship a lot on Mondays. And so, yeah, that day was great because we had to change
Wow.
everything to second day air. They had to do a special pickup to come get it
Oh
out
my
right
gosh.
away. Yeah, it was ridiculous because
it's-
a lot of our Monday orders are going out west.
Right.
They're all the 3 and 4
Right,
day.
the 3 and 4 days, yeah.
It takes all week to get
Yeah,
there.
it's interesting. I had obviously we did Animal Con, a couple weeks back, a few weeks back, and we actually I bought a bunch of stuff from Guitar Center, like speakers and mics and stuff like that for the event. And we had one of our packages that had a bunch of stuff just never showed up
Just disappeared.
from UPS.
Wow.
Just
Makes
never,
sense.
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
never.
Our boxes just
It's
get-
just gone
get lost.
forever. Yeah. And I think, well, at least someone probably has a nice set of, a couple of nice sets of speakers and mics right now. You don't really want a shipment of rodents to disappear and just be like accidentally left in the warehouse
Yeah.
for.
They'll figure it out.
Yes, they will.
That's,
Yeah,
uh,
something's stinking now. What's
Yep.
going on here? So, but it's great to see that you guys have done so well. By the way, obviously, you will put a link in the description to your stuff and stuff like that. I know that Silver. Well, we got a few.
got a few,
so
yeah, you wanna
let's hit it, man.
Silver Cash says, super excited about this one. Love y'all.
Thank you, Silver
Love you
Cash.
too.
And then we got, let's see, we got to load these up right quick. So we got, Kathleen says, the animals I want to work with in my breeding aren't very popular. Should I switch animals, or do you have any advice for creating a market for them?
I think this is a great question
It is.
for Stephen, because you kind of worked with scrub pythons that weren't very popular and are kind of
Right.
developing that. So what do you think about that?
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start off by not taking full credit for it, but where they were in popularity, I'd like to think that before joining with RepTech and since then, we've just been pushing how incredible these animals are,
Yeah.
showing them just for what they are, kind of taking the perception that they had as aggressive snakes and whatnot and kind of explaining a little bit more about that. But as far as, off of a specific animal, to this like the general idea of it, the way I see it is if you're passionate about any reptile, if we're talking about within this spectrum, if you talk about it enough and you're being genuine,
Yeah.
you could create any market you
Yeah.
want, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the way I see it, it's a lot more fulfilling than just chasing what you're being told is popular
Yeah.
at the moment. So if you're thinking about ditching a species that you love because you don't think that there's going to be a market there,
Yeah.
you're in the perfect spot. You can create the market.
Yeah.
You can create the narrative for how the species is
Yeah.
perceived,
Yeah.
and I think it's the best position you could be in. And at the end of the day, I can attest to it. The fulfillment that comes from that, especially once you see your work and your vision coming to fruition, it's really a special feeling.
I agree. And I think that another great example is our guy Armin Herptime. Do you guys know him?
Yeah.
For sure.
Great guy.
I mean, he's like made a name for anoles, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I know, it's so
Like
sick.
anoles. This guy's like the anole king of the world, and he's crushing
Yeah.
it. I mean, he's shipping out probably more anoles a day than I am snakes, and he's only been doing it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And he's really created this like unbelievable appetite for a
Yeah.
lizard that we all really thought were feeder lizards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that if you're passionate about, and then the other thing is that if you're passionate about working with a particular animal, it doesn't have to have a market. You don't have to work with it just for the money side of it. If you love it, just love it. Don't work with ball pythons because you love ring pythons. You know what I mean? It's like work with what you love,
Right.
and if you create a market, then great. If you don't create a market, you're still loving it. You know, so I would agree. Keep with what you love and go and just keep it going.
AB Thrilla says,
What's
what's
up,
up,
AB?
guys? Finally got a rhino iguana now that I have time and space. Do you have any tips or tricks about getting them to eat properly and tame them out? She's only a year old.
Well, a year old. Do you guys have rhinos?
I've never worked with them.
Okay. So, interesting. At a year, they're typically taming out pretty
Yeah.
good. As babies, they're hyper little bastards. They're like crazy. They'll bite you. They'll poop on you. They'll run
run
all
all
over you.
over, yeah.
Look at, remember Diddy and Dixie?
Yeah, I remember when they used to
were
book it into the
crazy.
bathroom.
They were crazy. I mean, they would just be like out of control. But by a year old, they should start calming down. So make sure you're really spending time
Yeah.
creating the bond with that year-old rhino. As far as eating, obviously vary the diet a lot. We do a lot of veggies. Well, we do veggies every single day.
Yep.
We also do tortoise chow that's wet. We wet it down, let it soak for about 15, 20 minutes. And they really like the tortoise chow. It's really good for them. And then just really vary up your especially your veggies, and every now and then some fruits, not too much fruit,
Yeah.
but just a little bit every now and then with fruits. And that's about it, but you shouldn't have a problem. I mean, I don't know anyone that really has issues. Rhinos are super, super hardy
best,
animals
yeah.
and super good. I do know people that have rhinos that aren't that friendly.
I do too.
But if you work with them, the problem with getting a year old is that hopefully it's not already in that path of like, I'm an asshole and I'm not going to stop, being an asshole. But I think working with them, and I think the majority of people that work with rhinos, I mean, they're just so cool, man. I mean, they're
incredible animals.
they're
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing, do you have any of you, because I know you guys work with a bunch of monitors as well. Do you have lizards that like come to their name when you call them at all? Because we do, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've gotten that far. Just we don't socialize them the same way that you guys do, just for honestly a lack of time.
Yeah.
But Kilo, the croc
Yeah.
monitor,
that thing's
you open
cool.
her cage and she is right.
She wants
She's
to
going
play.
right towards you.
Yeah,
It's,
I wish we had. I mean, I wish we had a croc. I mean, our croc. We love our croc, and of course, this is Stephen Kush, the
namesake.
the namesake of Baby Kush, and we love him tremendously. And but I don't think he'll ever be that animal. Like he's just not that animal. He's always going to be a little bit shy. He's always going to be a little bit defensive. He's not a biter. He won't bite you, which is great.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't cut his nails, so his claws are. I have some marks from the other
Just
day.
the other day,
handling
yeah.
him.
This is from today.
Yeah, that's from today. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they rip you up a bit, but I see like Kilo. I remember, you know, messing with. That's just such a great animal, and again, Armin and Mason Barnes have you know, monitors that are just like ridiculous, but rhinos there's just something about them. They love attention. I mean, they like thrive for it. They want to come and get petted.
Yeah.
And even like with Bella, for instance, now Diddy and Dixie, our other rhinos, are not this way, but Bella, she'll forgo food for pets.
Yeah, all the time.
Like if you start petting her, she will not eat at all. She just wants pets. You know, even if you give her a favorite food, which is bananas, she'll like eat a banana, and as soon as you start petting her, she stops eating the banana and she just closes her eyes and wants pets. So rhinos are really special, and I think, and I've said, you know, really, I don't know that the Reptarium happens if it wasn't for Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's how special that animal was. Like I all of a sudden had an animal that I created a relationship with that was so special that I thought, wow, we can do more. You know what I mean? It's like it really made me realize things and changed my whole perception of keeping reptiles.
Yeah, they're closer to a
You know?
dog than almost any other reptile, like that behavior, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like literally, you can open the cage and say, "Come here." Although, you know, our black monitor, Toothless is, it'll come to its name too, which is crazy. Like it'll be up on the big thing, and I'll just like tap, "Come here, Toothless." It'll just crawl right down.
I just seen that for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? No chance,
yeah,
dude.
it's been doing it like for the last like little bit, and it's another animal that if you pet it in its neck, it will push towards your pet. Like its whole body will go towards your pet.
It's crazy.
Like it just wants pets. So it's crazy. I think that these things are much more socialized than people real. But like you said, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands of hours of work to get animals to the point where they can be that type of thing. But so worth it when you do it. So good luck with your rhino iguana.
Jason Holbrook says, what's good, homies? Love y'all, even though I got no invite, JK, but for real next time.
Oh, man. I didn't. That's on you guys, man. You guys messed up.
I've already got a couple people from our town.
Yeah, like pissed off, like, damn it, you didn't tell me you're coming.
Yeah.
We'll have to, you know, obviously
Caravan.
it sucks that it's fall now. Like maybe next summer we'll probably do, well, and maybe if we get really lucky, our expansion will be done by then. We'll have to do like a big like barbecue
Bash,
or
yeah.
something like that. Because I remember coming to, do you guys do that anymore?
Yeah, we're still trying to pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we do.
It's
the
gonna be just before
pre-Tinley
before Tinley.
barbecues. We usually do it on that Thursday before.
Oh, that's dope,
Yeah.
man. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was our
coming back.
last big one, and then obviously
COVID,
things
yeah.
happened, and then
Yeah.
that, and then it's just been kind of low key lately, where just people that are flying in,
Yeah.
their close friends that will just put something together. But
Yeah.
a
Now, why?
big bash would be cool again sometime.
Yeah. What? So you guys are obviously not at Arlington. Do you ever do Arlington?
We used to. So we
Just
used to,
too tough.
It's just so far to drive rodents down there, and then there's at least 5 to 6 rodent vendors.
Oh, there's a lot of rodent vendors there, so that doesn't. Yeah. That's,
Actually, a couple of our wholesale guys are down there, and it used to be okay because we would just wholesale whatever we didn't sell to them.
right at the
But
end.
obviously, you want to get retail market when you're at a show.
And honestly, we've been really fortunate. The retail side has gotten so big since COVID started that a lot of times we'll be approaching a show and we're like, I don't think we have stock to bring
that's
to a
awesome.
show.
That's why we
Right.
didn't vend this last Schaumburg, and
Oh,
we were
okay.
just there. We just didn't even have product.
But you guys will be at Tinley.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Yeah, Tinley's a big one. I'm coming on
I
Saturday.
heard
Really?
that.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
crazy. It's wild. It's the first Tinley I've been to in 6 years.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
it's a little bit crazy. We have a video idea that I'm super excited to do. I've been
I
talking
heard
about for like
about
3
it.
years, 3-4 years, and I'm finally going to do it. And then, of course, I'll be in Aquashella on Sunday, which is a fish expo that's in Chicago as well. So I'll be Saturday Tinley, Sunday Schaumburg. Or not Schaumburg. I don't know where the hell it is. I don't know why I said Schaumburg, but it's in the Chicago
We were
area.
talking about it.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the Chicago area. I got to look that up at some point. But so I get the best of both worlds. I've been getting into fish, as you
Yeah, I was
guys
just
know
gonna
that.
ask, yeah.
I'm getting fish crazy, So I spend as much time on fish looking at fish than I do reptiles these days, which is a little scary. I'll always be a reptile guy. I'm never going to lose that. That's always my baby. It's just that, how like, I'm sure you guys know this, like, because you guys both went through this over your life, is like when you first get into reptiles, you get like really obsessed about them, and you're like, you don't know much, so
There's
you're
so much to learn,
learning,
yeah.
and that learning causes like this obsession, because you're like every day, like, I didn't know that, what is nitrate? There's a nitrite and a nitrate. What? One's an I and one's an A, and nitrates are bad and nitrates are good, and you know what I mean? You learn all this crazy stuff, and so that's where I'm at. I've said like I feel like 15-year-old Brian again, learning about reptiles, but I'm learning about fish, so I'm super excited about it and jazzed about it, and I can't wait to get deeper into it. But so I get to go to both shows, which is pretty
Nice.
freaking cool.
Yeah,
So
That's really
convenient.
cool.
yeah, it's going
Yeah.
to be really good. So what is AB Thriller or no? who's it?
Drew says, "Hey everyone, I'm a future boa breeder and have 6. I'm growing up. Do you have any advice on turning a hobby into a business?
Well, that's great.
And any new breeder pitfalls to avoid? Thanks. P.S. More J. Oreo Bros."
What do you guys think? I mean, I did notice. I saw the picture the other day of your what is it, a Princess Diamond, or is
Yeah.
it? I didn't know
Yeah,
which one. Because what is there?
Princess
Princess Diamond, and then there's another one, right? That's something else, like a queen something. I don't even know. I thought there's like two different.
That's the only 2 boas I have.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I think there's like 2 names, but like if you
I don't
breed
know
this, like if
Morse.
it's a fire
Oh,
to
okay,
this,
I
it's a
got you.
Princess Diamond. But if it's a this to this, it's something else.
I could
anyways,
not tell you
yeah.
that part.
But I saw 'em breeding.
Yes, they were locked up.
That's
yes.
dope, man.
Yeah,
I
would
can't wait till you have
love
those.
to just walk in one day, see a drove for white little babies. Running
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, what was the breed? Is it a labyrinth that you were
It's a
breeding?
labyrinth.
It's a fire labyrinth jungle.
Yeah.
Sheesh, that's a
Yeah.
nice
Oh,
animal.
it's a
The male
it's a good
is
pairing.
incredible,
That's a
yeah.
great pairing, man.
Yeah.
That's a great pairing. Wow. So you could get little Lucy's, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you get one with speckles because I want to buy one from you. I want that. Ever
Yeah.
since I've seen your
I
mail,
know.
I've loved that animal
Jay
so
told
much.
me you want Princess Diamond pretty
Oh,
bad.
bad.
I
You
can't
don't
let her
even
go
understand.
though. Like
I know.
she's my girl.
One day I'll find a weakness and just,
yeah.
If I produce them, I might let her come up here and retire.
Yeah, she's so good. That's
Yeah.
that because I like the white ones are great, but I like the ones with freckles.
Yes, of course.
And you guys, it's like a
Yeah,
it's like a
she's
cow
amazing.
retic that never changes,
Yeah.
which is makes it so incredible. And boas are super cool. So hopefully you have luck with that
Yes.
breeding. So what advice would you have?
Turning a hobby into a
into a
business.
business, because you guys have done it and I've done it. And so what do you guys have to say?
I mean, I think one of the biggest things would just be, pretty standard advice, but when, I'm not gonna say if, when you feel like quitting, find a way to remind yourself of why you went down the path in the 1st place. I just never lose that feeling you have right now where you're super excited
Yeah.
to get into it, because as any of us know who have gotten deep, have had issues come up, whether it be staffing, personal life, otherwise, where you're just working 24/7
Yeah.
with no end in sight. Quitting just sounds beautiful in that moment. But then as far as any actual growth goes, I would say a necessity these days is just social media, promote yourself, show your animals.
Yeah.
And I'm very bad at it these days, but I'm still gonna give that advice anyway.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to say part of what I would tell anyone is don't follow trends. Try to first of all do what you love, and then from there find a way to set your own trends.
Yeah.
And anything to add to that, Des?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it gets really stressful. It's not like selling clothes on
No.
an online store.
Yeah.
These are live animals.
Yeah.
And you can't look at them like dollar signs,
Yeah.
even though that's what you're doing.
Sure.
So it's heartbreaking too when you just blew $5,000 on a project and then you lost the breeder female or
Yeah.
whatever happens. Like it hurts,
Yeah.
and you just have to pick up and keep going and just. I don't know. I've been doing this for so long. Like I get that question and I'm like, I don't even know how to answer that truthfully because I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Like this is just
Isn't it
Like,
something?
I was 18 and
That's all you've done.
this is all I've done. Breed rats and
It's
collect
definitely
snakes and
becoming increasingly more difficult. I feel like just as the market starts getting more flooded with new people, especially these days, I feel like there's a
Of course. Yeah.
much bigger influx of new people with that goal in mind, which is great. Yeah,
it grows the hobby.
It's
to
just
some extent.
yeah,
I think
differentiating yourself.
I think that, and that's the thing. So we've been at, obviously, you've been in it for a long time. I've been in it for a long time. It goes through cycles, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like, the market goes really crazy, then the market dips, and a lot of people get out. And then, so we've been on the uptick for the last 6-7 years, maybe even 10 years. We're probably on the downside of that, where we've kind of peaked out to where that, like you said, maybe an oversaturation of breeders and people that want to do it for a living. But if you're in it for the long haul and you really love it, you survive it,
Yeah.
And I've survived the ups and downs, and I'm preparing for a down right now. I really believe it's coming.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's doomsday. I just think that you're going to see, people aren't going to stand in line to throw $15,000 at you like they have over the last 5, 6, 7 years. There'll still be people that do it, but I think you're going to see a moderation of that. So as you get into this, you just really got to stay passionate. And I think it's great advice what Steven said is, remember the passion that you had when you started, because there's going to be times when you want to quit. And don't let that quit. Just keep going back and realizing that if you're really passionate about it, you're going to do really well. Yeah. And it's a long. Listen. I always say it's a long game, man. You know what I mean? Don't go for the short win. Go for the long game, because when you do it for the long haul, you're going to get to. It's kind of like like you can look at leopard geckos. Leopard geckos are like the microcosm of how the reptile hobby works, but accelerated. Right, because the life cycle is so quick. Yeah, right. You can produce a leopard gecko, have a baby, and have another baby from that baby in 12 months. Mm-hmm. So whereas a ball python or other python or a boa takes 2, 3, 4 years, a leopard gecko. So you'll see the leopard gecko hobby cycle at a much more rapid pace than no one has leopard geckos and everyone wants leopard geckos. Then everybody has leopard geckos and no one wants leopard geckos. And then no one has leopard geckos and everyone wants leopard geckos. And this cyclical thing happens with leopard geckos on a very fast pace, whereas is with the rest of the market, it happens in a much slower, more a parabolic stance. So just if you're in it for the long game, you're going to win, because you're going to be in the ups, you're going to be in the downs. And if you're working with the things that you're really passionate about, like boas or whatever the case may be, you're going to love the process. And when you get to the end, and when you're producing really cool stuff, like if you produce, labyrinth, jungle fires, or I guess when you produce the white one, you're not going to really know what the genetics are behind it. But the point is that, people are going to buy them.
Right.
Even in a down market, that's an animal. So just think about that when you're buying your stuff.
AB Thriller says he was the one with the iguana, the rhino iguana. Came back to say she's pretty good. She doesn't bite or whip. I am worried about her eating habits. I've only had her for a week, and I just want advice on a good schedule. Getting her on a good schedule.
Yeah, feed her every day. That's the schedule. Feed her every single day. In a week, it might take her a week or 2 or 3 to cycle in. Before we go on to it, what did AB say?
He just said thanks for the advice as well.
But feed her every day. Give her food every single day. But you can switch up. You can do something like, I know, like Ty from Iguana Land, he'll do like veggies 3 times a week. And then he does the other days of the week, he's just doing iguana chow or tortoise chow. I personally feed everything every day. I feed veggies and I feed tortoise chow every single day. Give them the advice, and then occasionally I give them little treats, like again a banana or sometimes super worms or something like that. I give them a treat, but that's like once a week or something like that. I did want, before we go on,
keep going.
I wanted to say that because I need some help with the chat here. When you talked about business and turning your hobby into a business, a name is very important, right? Mm-hmm. And so Des she may be changing the name of her Instagram, and we need some help to find out what you guys think is a better name, a brand name. So tell me the 2 options.
Okay.
And in the comments or in the chats, guys, you got to tell me which ones you like.
I love monitors, so I wanted to be something like that. So I either wanted to go with Varanid Vixen. Or Miss Monitor.
Or Miss Monitor. So Varanid Vixen, Miss Monitor.
So we have the PG version, and we have the X-rated version.
So I actually, when I first heard it, I thought Varanid Vixen was a a better brand name.
Yeah.
It's a great. It is a great brand name.
But is it too porno? Is it too porno?
Is it too pornographic in nature for children?
Yeah, or Miss Monitor. I like Miss Monitor, but to me it sounds like
like a teacher.
Yeah. Like it's Miss Monitor.
Miss Monitor.
Brandon Vixen might be a
restroom.
different teacher, but still a teacher.
So I want you guys to tell us.
Vixen woke me up last night, and I got on Instagram, and it is available. So,
Oh, not anymore.
Miss Monitor, MISS is not available, but MRS could be. I think.
Wherever Miss Monitor is, give up your.
Yeah, give it
I
up.
actually messaged the account.
There's
How many?
no
Is it got like? Is it got
photo. I
like
think
2
it's a ghost.
followers?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's
Like a
just
zero
ghost
post.
account.
Yeah,
and-
I hate that when I look into
Yeah.
something and it's like they have like 4 followers.
You should
and
be able to snipe
never
people's
have
names,
post, and it's like get off the darn thing, So
I see a
I
Miss
will-
Monitor
I
so
will
far.
Change it right.
You see a
on
Miss
this
Monitor. Well, it's just
podcast if
we're
We're
get
just.
enough
I like
people.
them both. Miss Monitor.
Miss Monitor is winning. So it's always a delay of about 50 seconds. So
Yeah.
we're just now
Yeah.
starting to hear about it. But so as we go through,
Miss
definitely,
Monitor.
yeah, definitely keep track of Miss Monitor of Rand. So far, of Randed Vixen, I guess I was wrong. Maybe I'm just
Maybe scared of it.
yeah, maybe I'm
Oh,
just like
God.
an 80s porn guy or something like that.
that sounds
That's,
it.
Like, hey, sounds great to me.
Yeah, I love that sound.
I visited that website
It brings
before.
me memories.
Yeah. Oh man.
Shoot.
I don't. You could be like something on. I'm
Don't
gonna go off the deep end on this one, but like you could put out a little like thing like Branded Vixen in the bush.
Oh
You know what I
no,
mean? Like,
in
you
the
know,
bush.
like
Yeah.
like
Smart. You're really
When you go collect and go herping and stuff like that.
Like,
Branded
we're
Vixen's in the bush.
Australia looking
Yeah.
for
This is why we
brandies.
came here today.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if you played into it even more, it makes it more funny. You know what I mean? Like if you actually did like boudoir shoots with monitors, it'd be perfect.
It's
Did you
coming,
ever
guys.
hear about? I'm going to go down another path here. Did you ever hear about? I was with Cody.
Bartolini?
Bartolini
Yeah.
down in Florida with Peter Birch
love
from
that guy.
and we were down there years ago, and there was a lot of feral cats, like lots of feral cats, right? And so we were out to dinner at this cool place. You may have been there before. I don't know what it was called. It was a cafe, but it overlooked like water and swampy areas and stuff like that. It was by Cody's place, and he took us there. He said he liked it. And we saw all these cats everywhere. We got off the car. There's cats. There's cats running around everything, and all these feral cats. And then so we came up with this idea, and we wanted to make this web series called Adventures of the Pussy Hunter. and it was going to
That was
be.
probably Cody's.
Yeah,
idea.
Cody was he was probably instrumental, and then ultimately Peter Birch.
I can't believe we didn't talk about this with Uncle Peter, dude.
I know we didn't.
I can't
Peter was
believe it.
on.
I didn't know
Oh,
that
'cause
it was him, dude.
Peter. So Peter, we used to just occasionally send me these voice messages that were like, blimey, blood, like you would go like, these bloody pussies,
All
you know,
over the place.
on the bush. I wish I could find. I don't know where they're at on my phone. How do I get to
Your
voice memos?
psychologist might.
Yeah, so this is what's funny. So Peter sends me all this stuff, and it was going to be this punny type of thing. Like it was going to be like
All
the
wordplay,
Pussy
yeah.
Hunter was
Yeah.
was obviously going to be like this nerdy guy, like Napoleon Dynamite type of guy, right? And he would like show up to this like girl's house, and she'd be in like lingerie, and she'd be like, I have a pussy problem, and he'd be like, ma'am, I'm here to help you with your pussy. But he's just thinking about cats. She's thinking about these puns and stuff like that. And we went through this whole thing like we were gonna produce it. We never did. So Peter sends me tons of voice things like him. He's like the narrative of the Pussy Hunter, and so I'm at my therapist, right? And it's old lady. She's like 70 years old. She's a doctor, and she we're doing therapy, and she wants to do a hypnosis session with me, right? And which is good. And she goes, but I want to record it. And I go, well, okay, cool. And she goes, just give me your phone. She opens the phone up, and the voice thing is the Pussy Hunter. So now I have to explain to my therapist
What this
why
is all
there's just
about.
like it's like the Adventures of the Pussy Hunter, and I'm just like, gee, it was just horrible. Anyways, point is, let's move on.
Okay. GM Reptiles says, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you, GM. I
Appreciate
appreciate you.
Nikki says, hi, Brian. Huge fan. Can't wait to meet you at Tinley. Every person in the podcast is amazing. Continue doing amazing, guys.
Love
Thank you.
Nikki.
Yeah,
Sorry
thank you.
we didn't bring you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and I look forward to meeting you as well. It's going to be an interesting Tinley because it's been a long time since I've been to Tinley. When I was at Tinley last, I was not actually vlogging even. Or no, I take that back. I think I just started.
I think you just started.
I just think I just started vlogging. So obviously it's going to be a very. I don't know how it's going to go. It'll be interesting to see, and I am going there to film. So it may be a little bit of a challenge to film this trip, to try to.
We'll make it happen.
I mean, we have to film because we have a very specific task to do it. But it's going to be interesting, and I'm just going to make the best of it. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. So it's a little bit scary, it's scary going back a little bit for me. It's been a long time, and quite frankly, I don't know that there's been. The last time I was there, I had a guy in a wheelchair that you guys know that had a gun that tried to kill me. So
it happens.
So it's a little
Tinley, everybody.
Yeah, it's a little traumatic,
Monitor Vixen. But
did we get one? Miss
MM.
Monitor Vixen.
It's got to be MM or VV.
Yeah,
I think
alliteration is a must.
Yeah, always.
I think at least do we have any?
I see 90% are Miss Monitor.
Okay, so I'm wrong. I'm
Mighty Monitor Mom.
Mighty Monitor Mom. I don't know.
Mometer.
That's actually a good one. It's a good one. I don't know.
I'm so torn.
What does that one say? Phasing Brian. What is that? Where
is it? Phrasing Brian.
Oh, phrasing Brian. I wonder what that means.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Anyways, before we get going, let's hit a couple more.
I got only a couple left. So, Silver Cash said manifest.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
And then Lacey says, "Oh, hi friends, we're finally making our way to visit you next weekend."
Awesome. Guess I'm so sorry we're closed next weekend.
It's unfortunate.
No,
we
always say that every time someone says they're going to come to visit. Like, oh, sorry, we're closed there. No, next weekend I'll be in town. Next weekend I'll be here. I don't have. It's been a wild couple months.
Yeah.
So we don't have any company next week. We don't have anything really going on next week. So we'll be in town. So
chilling out.
So when it comes to the rodent part is obviously not as exciting for people. I think it's the backbone of what you do. I mean, it supports
everything.
Yeah, it supports everything.
Yeah.
It's so huge.
Yeah.
And listen, rodents are very vital. Obviously, without rodents, there's no reptile hobby. You know what I mean? Like if you guys, and by the way, we get all our rodents from Cold Blooded Cafe. So you're not only friends, but you're our supplier as well. And you guys have come a long way.
Oh yeah.
Because the early days were a little bit sketchy. Now it's great quality.
Yeah.
They look great. Because listen, especially for us, because we feed stuff on video, we can't have gory, nasty rodents. They have to be crisp, and you guys do a great job of it. So you come a long way with that. So it's important. But I think the reptile side, I'm interested to hear where you guys are going with the reptile side. Like because I know you've sold some things that maybe didn't make sense. Are you just focusing on what is your focus?
Exactly.
Like what's going forward?
Yeah. So that's absolutely what we've been doing. And, a lot of people have that same kind of go very broad, figure out what you love, and then kind of tighten it back in.
Yeah.
I have a couple projects that I'm really passionate about, and so does Des. And, it's great that we're kind of able to support each other in that way where, she'll do most of the stuff with the monitors. I'll do most of the stuff with the scrub pythons. And, the projects kind of balance each other out. But at this point, kind of the biggest focuses are scrub pythons, the rattlesnakes and venomous in general, monitors, as far as breeding projects goes, and then some colubrids. But
what colubrids are you guys working with now?
A good amount of stuff. We have.
We love spilotes.
Yeah, the spilotes.
I think they're beautiful,
genus
but
is
I refuse to work with them.
Just because they're flighty and
They're so fucking
yeah. Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah,
you just did.
Yeah, they're I'm sorry. They're way too flighty for me. But no, I like the pine snakes. They're really pretty.
Yeah.
They're
What
really
pines
chill.
are you working with?
The Jani Mexican
Oh yeah,
pines.
Depa Jana. Nice, beautiful. Yeah,
And
they're
we
really
have
cool.
blue beauties.
Blue beauties
Which
are
we
great,
have
and those
babies.
prices went through the roof. Holy cow! You used to buy them for like $200. Now they're like $1,000,
Oh, it's-
$1,500.
Yeah,
It's
right?
My personal best reptile investment ever was
Blue beauties.
2 blue beauties at $150 a piece, and now they're selling for
10
$1,000 a pair.
times. Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
She's
how
gone
much.
3 times now since she's been here.
Yep, but three
Wow.
clutches, just had one hatch out.
Yeah.
Sheesh, you have any babies?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, wow, I
12.
might
12 healthy babies.
I might have to get a pair because I like them. Is Lori listening?
I know. No, I made sure.
Yeah, make sure to block Lori. I don't want to hear anything about that. But interesting. I personally love Spilotes. I've never worked with Spilotes, but I've loved them from afar, and I've always thought because I love like puffing snakes and I love all those crazy Crebos and all stuff that's big, giant. Even I know did you guys sell your coach whip?
Yes. I know.
That thing was so beautiful.
I know, but it went to Ari and Rio. So.
Oh, good, at the zoo,
Yeah.
Replandia.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Have you talked to them lately? When is their projected opening date? Do you have any ideas?
I thought they said a few months.
I think they're a few months out.
Yeah.
Last time.
I think when they came on the podcast 6 months ago, they said a few months out.
Yeah.
So-
It's tough.
Yeah, I wonder what the holdup is on it, but it's going to be amazing. It looks beautiful. I
it's
can't
an
wait to get
incredible
down
place.
there and see the place. I'm jealous that they have a Komodo. That's
It's on there.
I want to put a hit list out on them just for the Komodo.
Just for the Komodo.
I might go and steal the Komodo, to be honest with you, because
Be a good
they'll
video.
never know that it came here once it's here.
Yeah.
They would never know. They would never know.
Yeah, they couldn't see it on.
I like that's like my like thing, right?
That's the
It's
crux.
Like
yeah.
I've got to get I have to get a Komodo.
I need a Perenni.
Parentes would be great too. They'd be great. Yeah.
Like,
I
talk
think
to
that
your Muay
Parent-
Thai, please.
Yeah, right. I think Parentes might be a little bit more achievable than Komodos almost, I mean, they're hard, don't get me wrong, but there's some Parentes out there and, it's possible. Whereas Komodos, there's more Komodos by far.
Right.
And there's lots of zoos that want to
sure.
get rid of their Komodos, but they can't come out of AZA unless you have some, like Ari and I
You
think
have a
the only two that I know of. Do you know of any other Komodos besides Ari
And Rob,
Rob Carmichael?
So I think Terry Phillip has a couple babies that
Really?
came out of Denver Zoo.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
wow.
you're right.
Yeah, there's one on display at Reptile
yeah.
Gardens. But other than
But he's AZA though, right?
No.
he's not
Reptile
AZA.
Gardens not, no.
Oh, I thought he was AZA. Okay.
But other than those places, I think.
Yeah, there's not
I think
much.
they have their Komodos on lock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is so stupid. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it does make
It is
sense.
stupid.
But I think that if you can prove that you could do, like, I would literally, like, when we're moving across the street, we have the ability to do a 7,000 square foot expansion on the building add-on. I would literally dedicate 4,000 square foot to a Komodo
Yeah.
exhibit.
Yeah. Oh,
That's how much I would
Yeah.
do. I'd be willing to do to make this amazing.
Yeah, it should be set up more like how, like with Drogo, where like somebody comes out, looks, says like, all right, you have the capability of taking care of this animal. You have a nice
Right.
enclosure, and now
I
we
mean,
can get it. You
They
know?
let people have venomous snakes, so why can't we
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, yeah. It is a weird thing, and I wonder. Like I said, I've been working hard on it. I can get them out of Indonesia. I've got a permit to get out of Indonesia. I just don't think the U.S. Fish and Wildlife will let me bring them into the country, so it'd be really difficult. But I can do that. But I'm going to continue to work. I'm working like 3 different ways of getting Komodos, I will
rooting
get them.
for
I
you.
will get them eventually.
Yes.
Not them.
Manifest.
I just even one is fine.
one.
Just
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But
I'll
I
start with
mean,
one,
a
too.
couple would be good though.
I'll
But,
take as many as you're willing to give.
Yeah, as many as I can get. But it sucks because, I mean, I guess the difference between Parentes and Komodos is that, like, there aren't many people breeding Parentes, zoos breeding
Right.
Parentes, and there's just a handful of them out there. But with the zoos that are having them, they're more willing to rehome them
Yeah.
than they are Komodos for whatever reason. Whereas with Komodos, they're freezing eggs.
Yeah.
I know.
They're
it's
just
terrible.
like they don't even want to produce them.
It's just the good old boys club of Komodo dragons
Mm-hmm.
in the AZ. That's really, at the end of the day, that's it.
Yeah, it's weird how the
politics,
AZA will let some animals out and other animals don't.
I mean, they
and
do
Komodos-
that with croc eggs too.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's
Yeah,
just the bureaucracy.
Stud book.
yeah. AZA has even gotten weirder over the years. Not to bash AZA, but just like, yeah, it's getting more difficult. But now, would you guys ever? Do you want to do a display one day? Is that like a goal at all, or just a breeding?
I mean, I feel like
They go back and forth.
whose goal isn't that
Yeah.
eventually?
Right.
At least just speaking for myself, I feel like if that's something we do, there needs to be an angle that we feel like hasn't been approached before, and I haven't had that idea yet.
Yeah.
And with everything else going on, it's like,
now not.
We just have too much on our plate that is an issue today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
To where like that's it's a distant goal, I guess, a goal nonetheless. But
speaking of that, I mean, what do you guys have a goal? I mean, you got I've known you guys for a long time. Obviously, you Des longer than Steven, but known you both. And the one thing that has been very consistent since I've known you both is you just work a lot. I mean, is there and listen, I do too, and so does Lori. I mean, obviously, but I mean, is there an end game there? Is there?
We could ask you that too, Brian.
So hard. I mean, you're looking at the two main people that ship the rodent boxes.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
He's pulling the product, and me and one other person are packing boxes.
Wow.
3 days a week.
Wow. That's
and
crazy.
We're like on the owner status. But
you're doing the laborer's job.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, when it went retail, we had to figure out a way to make these boxes work, and then we had to train these people, and then you get a good staff going, and then they just quit on you.
Yeah.
So
it's not the most glamorous job. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've gone in and out of shipping for like 10 years.
Right.
And some days I just do it because I want to pass the time, or like right after Forest, that's all I did.
Right.
Because I couldn't be alone.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to do anything with the reptiles at the time because I was just not sure of anything at the moment. So all I did was pack boxes of rodents. And it was just mundane, monotonous, just like...
Yeah, you don't have to really think very hard. Yeah,
I mean, make sure you're putting the right stuff in the box.
Yeah, sure, right. Yeah.
Other than that...
I ordered pinkies, not
and
pigs.
now I'm like stuck. I'm stuck.
They're pink.
I cannot get out of it. Like I let the fuck out of shipping so bad.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Do you think you'll ever get there though? I mean, do you think that there's
I'm trying so hard. Yeah.
Because I think it's important
I just want to focus on the reptiles right now and like being a mom. Like and traveling and expanding. But like it's just too much.
Yeah.
And like we just had a really good guy work for a couple months, and we both were like, "This is our out." And he just gave us our notice. So we're
it is really hard, and I mean, we've been there too, where you just have someone that's really like a rock star, all right, we can really rely on this person, and then for whatever reason they decide to move on, and it's really difficult. Right now I think we have. And I'm knocking on wood saying this, we have a staff that's pretty solid, and I think that a lot of them will be with us for many, many, many years. Yeah. And we'll do everything we can do to keep them here, It doesn't necessarily, I mean, we still work like dogs, but, listen, we love what we do, I mean, that's the thing. I just, had meetings over the last few days about, what the future is going to hold. And it's like, I don't have an end game, there's no retirement in my future. Like I want to work till the day I die, I mean, people will be throwing dirt on my casket when I retire.
You're still,
and I'm still going to want to be coming to work.
Cleaning tubs.
I don't do many cleaning tubs anymore. But although I don't, I sometimes I wish I could. I mean, sometimes you said,
that monotonous work.
Thing, sometimes I do want to just come in and clean snake cages and not have to do all the other stuff that we have to do as business owners. But hopefully you guys will get there because running a business and being successful is great. But when, like you said, your son is getting older, it's easy to miss those days.
Yeah.
And,
sometimes I don't get home till 8:00 and his bedtime is like 8:39. So I'm like,
just see him.
I see him in the morning for like an hour, and then I see him at night for an hour. And then weekends are my time with him. And then there's all these reptile shows. And
then you're like, I got to go to Tinley. Yep, exactly.
I want to start bringing him, but he's still too crazy.
I know. That's all. It's a hard age.
He's 3 and he's wild and he cusses.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's my type of kid, man.
That's just like Jay when he was
that's it, dude. I came straight out screaming the F-bomb.
It's embarrassing. So, I need to reel that in before I start bringing him around.
I heard somebody do that, a kid do that yesterday. I don't remember what store I was at, but some kid just did that. He's like, this is fucking awesome. And I was like, yeah, dude.
And he uses it in the right context, too. And
that's well, Maybe he has Tourette's. You never know.
He's got the T. He's got that big T.
He likes the F word.
It's a good one.
Wow, that's his favorite, huh?
choice.
That's the favorite, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good word. If you use it right, it's powerful.
Oh, he
Very.
really does.
It's a
too.
powerful word. It's a powerful
bottle.
I mean, I use it. I try not to use it often, but when I use it, I want it to really.
Oh, and it does. You have a strong.
I have a
Yeah,
strong
see,
F.
if you don't use it and then it comes out, then people listen to you. But if
Exactly.
you're saying it all the time, like my dad growing up, it's like just another word.
Yeah.
And I don't even hear it anymore.
Exactly. It's just-
it
it's
has
filler.
no effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
you know?
filler. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I get you.
My mom was like, "Where did he learn that from?" And
I
was
don't
like,
know.
Your husband.
That's even better. Yeah, push it back on him. That's exactly it. He came out of the womb with it. It was genetic. It was genetically imprinted.
Seriously.
Oh my God. What does Scottish Rob have to say?
He says, hey, just running through. Looking forward to seeing you all at Tinley. Des, you guys are still vending Tinley, right? And best to use, guys.
Yes, we are.
Tinley is it,
We
huh?
Got you.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you need all your road needs.
Even if we only, even if we bring what we have left, we'll bring it.
Okay. Good.
Tinley's a must.
I won't be
It's
bringing
it's
anything.
like our home show.
I won't be bringing anything at all, so don't expect anything
Just
from
hugs.
me. Yeah, but I've thought about I wouldn't mind doing something where like I give something away, like if people come up, I give them a
Merch pack?
a Snicker bar or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
You know
One
what I mean?
M&M.
Like they share an M&M. Skittles.
One per family. Don't get out of control.
Like I'll buy like the Halloween kids and Skittle packs.
That's
you know what I
smart,
mean?
yeah.
Like here you go. Here's some Skittles for you. No, I don't know. Like I thought like maybe we'd make some kind of cool
Paper mache.
something. I don't know, like some memorabilia thing that we just give out at Tinley. So I'm thinking about it, guys. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. What did Mama Tomsky say?
She says, hello, everyone. Enjoy everything to the fullest that life gives y'all. Love the Tomsky fam. And my fam from Colorado is with them. So, hey, Jay, missing you. We'll miss you guys, too.
Love you
Oh, cool. What
guys.
families you got from Colorado?
I think I met him once when I was younger. His name's Steven. It's my dad's, cousin.
That's the guy you said you didn't like when you met him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I said piece of garbage. No. No. He, but they're from they live in Colorado, so my family
Colorado.
wants to go visit them sometime. So I think that's
Colorado.
great.
Yeah. Did you get back to South Dakota much anymore?
I was there in January, and I plan to go for Christmas.
Okay.
I was making like a summer trip every August for a while, and then this last August was just jam packed
Right.
with stuff, and I couldn't make it out there. But it's a 16-hour drive, and
yeah.
if I fly, it's like a full day of travel. But
Yeah, 'cause there's
again,
no direct,
Lars is
right?
Just
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
crazy.
I really
I
loved
did
the time
too.
that we had in
It was
South
amazing.
Dakota. Yeah.
I appreciate it so much more
Yeah.
as an adult. Like
It's
growing up
beautiful
there,
there.
I was like, I'm so bored. There's no good job.
So
Like, I
much
just
to
wanna
do
get
though,
out
right?
of here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's it's where you grow up, and then I don't know. Every year as I get older and I go back, I'm like, wow, this place is so beautiful.
It
I
is.
loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, going to Reptile Gardens was great. And,
Yeah.
And
Going to the T-Rex, like the museum
the
and
museum,
stuff,
yeah.
was dope.
We did all that with Lars this last time.
Yeah,
Loved
it was cool. Did you know? Did you come with us or no? Because did you know that when we went, it was the first day they were open from COVID.
Yeah.
Like, they
Des, you were
opened
there,
it-
right?
Did you come with us to that? I
No,
don't know if she came
You
or
don't
not.
think so?
I think
'Cause
that was just me, you, and Noah. And,
That was the day we did Mount Rushmore,
Rushmore.
and she was there. You were there for Mount Rushmore.
I know you were
I
there
think
for
she was there.
Rushmore.
I
I
think she
can't
was
remember. But anyways, we went there, and it was the Institute for, what is it called? Something Institute, Dinosaur Institute, or Institute?
I think it was,
for-
I think something like
Institute
that.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But anyways, they literally had been closed for like a year and a half or something like that.
Do you remember this?
Yeah,
I remember
and
you-
literally walked in. They're like, "Yeah, we literally opened today for the first time." I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
awesome
Oh,
is
yeah.
that? That place
What are the
was
odds?
dope.
Yeah,
You know?
and then Mount Rushmore with no people. There was more people
Nobody.
on the Mount Rushmore mountain, like the presidents.
there were more
people
presidents
there
than
than
there
in
was-
It
there.
was a good time.
yeah, they let
for
us
sure.
literally go on the nose of Mount Rushmore.
So many gold boogers.
Yeah. No, that was
get arrested for
I talked exactly. I talked about that many times. Like you never relive that experience because
It was a
now it's
unique
1,000 people there every minute of every day. And
Yeah, it's the retirement. It's like a destination for retirement right now.
yeah, oh, is it really?
Yeah.
See, that's it. I'm old.
out.
I'm official. Maria, our fisherman.
She says, "Hey Brian and Jay, did y'all's thumbnail cause any drama? I haven't viewed the comments of you cutting a steak in half, but I assume someone somewhere took it as a fact."
Let me put it this way. It was my idea. So
It was.
it
Yeah.
was my idea, 100% my idea. So I cut a snake clutch, and I was cutting 2 snake clutches, and I made the mistake that I thought the parents were the opposite. So it's like I messed up. Like I was like, why is there a clown ball python in this clutch, right? Yeah. So it was like a mistake. So I named it, I really screwed up cutting these clutches. That was the name because I screwed up, with the clutches. But then I thought, let's clickbait people and show a scissor cutting a snake in half, right? And so listen, I knew it was pushing the boundaries a little bit. And maybe a little more than a little bit, and I knew there was going to be some hatred for doing it, and so I read the first 100 comments or so were all great, and then I started getting some kind of like negative comments, like this is bullshit, blah blah blah, and even a couple I'm unsubscribing, which I always think is really funny. If someone's going to unsubscribe because of a thumbnail, it's like then you obviously didn't really care about my content that much. As it turned out, I didn't lose subscribers. Like I still
no, and I didn't see, and I've read the comments. Yeah. I didn't see many pertaining to it.
Well, all I can say is that once I saw 2 or 3, I was like, all right, I'm not reading more comments, and I just that's what I do. Like if I put something out, which doesn't happen often, but every now and then we'll put something out that's a trigger that someone goes negative, and again, it's not much. If I get 800 comments, it's 20 bad comments and then 780 good comments, but I don't want to read the 20 bad comments. So when I start to get any string of bad comments, I just peace out. I'm like, I'm not reading any more of those comments. So yeah, Maria, I'm sure we pissed a couple people off. I think it was a great thumbnail, by the way. Jay did it. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. My
it's
bad.
his fault. But
I did a great job of making it not look
really,
gory.
I mean, and the funny thing is, it was our highest viewed video this month.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
the clickbait worked.
The clickbait worked, and I thought it was a good video, and life goes on. But we don't typically do that. So we'll clickbait a lot, but not in a way that's like
fibbing.
That very much. That was like over the line, but I just like the idea so much.
I've always wanted to cut a snake in half.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm doing it today.
I just always wanted to have a thumbnail of a snake cut in half, because I've always thought, like, because people ask all the time, never cut the snake when you're cutting it.
No.
And so why not give them what they want?
Exactly.
And that's what we did. So
Sherry Lynn says, I thought Toronto Zoo had Komodos. Have you heard from Chewy and Slothopus Matilda Saddle? Apparently, Melissa says St. Augustine has a Komodo. Have fun.
Yeah, these are all AZA zoos, though. So St. Augustine AZA, Toronto Zoo's AZA. I mean, I'd say almost 90% of AZA zoos have Komodo dragons, because any AZA zoo that wants a Komodo dragon gets it for free.
Yeah,
like 100% for free. You get a Komodo dragon. They're trying to give them away. They just can't get rid of them. But when you get out of AZA zoo, there's only a handful of facilities that do have Komodos. And like you said, Terry at Reptile Gardens, he's got great connections with other AZA zoos. He's very highly respected in that world, so it doesn't surprise me. Ari got his because of his relationship with the DFW zoo.
And then Rob as well had some.
Rob did it the hard way. Rob Carmichael did it the hard way. He went to AZA meetings, even though he wasn't an AZA. He was an AZA member. Like, you can become an AZA member for like $200 a year or something like that. It's really cheap, and you're able to go to AZA meetings. You're just not an AZA facility. And so he went to AZA.
Just networked.
Yeah, and networked for like 10 years before finally he got a zoo. And what ended up happening was, his Komodo's name was Shrimp. It was a spayed female. And so she had some genetic issues, and so they spayed her, and it was like not going to be able to ever be in the stud books. It was never going to do anything. So it was kind of a whatever animal. So they gave it to him. And then unfortunately, along with the problems she had, it came a lot of other health issues, and she ended up dying after a couple years. And then the zoo he got it from was like, hey, we feel so bad, we're going to give you a baby male for free.
Oh, that's sweet.
So now he has a baby male. Well, now it's like a yearling or so. I have not seen it yet, but it's that's pretty
where
awesome.
Stephen worked before.
Really?
Cut my teeth. Yeah,
that's where you cut your teeth. Yeah. It's a cool, very interesting place.
I did like it a lot. We got to go back.
I mean, it was walking in there when I was 13 to a room full of king cobras and bushmasters, green mamba. I mean, it was my dream job. Like, how is this happening? And I knew about reptiles enough to I guess, trick them that I was older than I was.
Yeah.
And, you know, they didn't know I was 13 for the first 2 months, and
Holy
they
cow.
let me stay. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's got a lot of character. That place.
the property is incredible.
The property's amazing.
The buildings are so well maintained for how old they are, and it's
cool
vibe.
It's
special.
Yeah,
it's special.
There's no place like it in the country, and I love going there, and it's super cool. So it's good for him, and I can't wait to go back. I got to get up there and see the Komodo and see what that whole thing is about. That's I'm so jealous, but. That's okay. As a matter of fact, speaking of Komodo, my buddy, Keo, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Keo reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to come to Indo this coming year. I don't know why. He was just like, "Hey, do you want to come to Indo this year?" So I'm assuming there's a reason that he didn't just invite me for the
Yeah.
You know, so I'm anxious to see. Yeah, I mean something. There's something going on over there. As a matter of fact, I should check my WhatsApp and see if he sent me. I'll tell you guys.
While you're doing that, do you want me to read this or?
Sure.
AB Thriller came back to say, "Thank you so much, Brian. If it wasn't for Bella, I wouldn't have even known about rhino iguanas. You and Bella are the reason I even got one in the first place. I remember when you first got her, and I fell in love with rhinos."
Well, thank you so much, AB, and I appreciate it. And it is an amazing animal, and they are just so special, so special. So I'm glad, and thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Jason from More
Jason,
Mixology.
what's up, brother?
He says, "What's up, Snake Fam?"
Yeah, he might be coming out.
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
I think Friday before Tinley. I think
awesome.
It's Friday morning before Tinley. I just have to figure out my schedule because, as you guys know, it's like there's a lot. Everyone that comes in wants to come here either Friday or Monday. As a matter of fact, MJ, I got to talk to MJ. I got to give him a call. I'm going to give him a call because I know he's down in Arlington. So I'll give him a call after the weekend. He always comes out Sunday afternoon, but I'm going to be at Aquashella.
Yeah.
So I'll be here Sunday night, but not Sunday afternoon. So I think him and several other people are supposed to be coming by 3, 4 o'clock. So I have to either say, hey, I'm not going to be here. And no one's going to be here, by the way. Jay will be with me. Lori will be with me. I think the other Jay is going to be with me. And I think everyone's
Mike's,
going.
I think Mike's going, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
heard
think
Noah's
Mike's
the only one not allowed to go.
Noah's not allowed.
He's
Lori
not. Why is
told
that?
him.
Because of the
he can't
dog.
go.
He's got to take care of the puppers.
Yeah, because the dogs. I don't know if you heard. Like our dog has got a little bit of an issue. So, yeah. So it's he can't be left alone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a bummer. It's hard to it's a whole hard thing. I don't want to talk about. I'll cry if I talk about it. So, but what did he say? I didn't even. Did he say,
I got you. He says, "What's up, Snake Fam? Just got back from our first RV trip. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. That's
now
funny.
catching up in the Snake Room. Glad to see Steven and Des in town. It's full circle. We met him on our first RV trip, and now he's done with his.
We went to Jason's up in Montana. On the RV trip that we met you in South Dakota.
Yeah, and we saw you in Indiana. We went and visited their place.
Oh, that's
they were
right.
the first
We
stop.
started.
Yeah.
We started in Indiana. It was windy as hell.
Windiana.
Oh my, yeah, it was windy.
Indiana.
Windiana.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
it was crazy, man. It was.
We thought because we literally had just gotten in this RV, guys. So like, Brian's like, "Is it going to be like this the whole time?" Because we didn't know if it was windy.
I mean, it was just like like we were just. I was getting like motion sickness,
Yeah.
you know,
God.
and I didn't know if like this is how RVs are. You know? I'm like,
Once we got
it's
out
gonna
of
be
Indiana,
a
we were
horrible.
fine.
It's gonna be a horrible trip, you know. But we had a good time. Yeah, we stopped at your place, then we went down to St. Louis, the St. Louis Aquarium, and then the rest of it. I missed. That was a
banger,
That was a
dude.
fun trip.
Yeah. Amanda says, "Have y'all considered a rock python for exhibiting or handling? Thoughts? It would be dope to see one in person."
We can sell you a pair.
I actually have a patternless male and a het patternless female.
All right.
So
Which are dope.
they are really cool. They're
Crazy.
touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
you can
touchy.
Have this one.
They're
I'll give it to you.
They're touchy. I love rock pythons, and I do want to have them on display. They're not on display right now. I do want to have them on display just so that I have
All the
four
giants,
giants.
Yeah.
And I realize, scrubbies can get big and olives can get big and stuff. But we're talking about giants. I think of anacondas, rock pythons, and like Burmese and Indian pythons, I guess, go together a little bit. And then, of course, what did I say?
Retics.
Retics. So those are like the heavy-bodied giants. So I want to have them on all four on display. So yes, I already have them. And as a matter of fact, Tarzan put out a really cool Instagram
I seen
story
that. That was
today
dope.
with like a big African rock like going through the river and stuff like that. So it's they're cool. They're nostalgic to me. I had one for like 25 years. She lived like 25 years, and she was a crazy animal. You do not want to get bit by that animal.
No.
That they have teeth for miles, So it's crazy. So do you guys have with scrubbies? I don't know a lot about scrubs. I know there's a lot of
that
localities.
one downstairs, you can let that go home with us.
Which one? I got 2.
He likes that big female.
That bigger female.
Yeah, there are 2 females in there.
I know.
Yeah,
They're very nice.
Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah, there you go. What is there? Is there anything like anything you were trying to get that you don't have yet?
I mean, we would have to say Australian scrubs.
Yeah, so the king horneye, yeah, you just can't get. There's just nobody, right?
There's 2 females at Reptile Gardens. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to? Do you know anything? What happened to the Eugene Bissett ones that he was breeding years ago? Yeah, because he was breeding them years ago, and I mean, obviously, I'm sure that his died just because they were old. Yeah. But I mean, I know he was breeding them, so they had to go somewhere. But I just wonder if they just disappeared into the ether.
Probably.
Yeah, so it's too bad. But I remember going down to Eugene's place and seeing the king hornum and giant snakes. My buddy Chris Smith from Instagram has one. That is, I mean, it's a 15, 16 footer.
Oh, for sure.
That's a big snake, man.
Yeah.
Now that's a big snake. That's a big snake. But other than that, you guys got it covered pretty good.
Almost completely. And the thing is, there are so many scrub python locality types or whatever that aren't in the hobby and may have not even been discovered. There's the entire PNG side of the island that we can't even get to.
Right.
That there are. I mean, in the latest Barker book, there's a lot of great pictures of scrubs from that side of the landmass, and they're mind blowing. They look nothing like anything you'd ever seen before.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did he go personally, or is he just get from other expeditions?
I don't remember exactly. Mark O'Shea was credited in many of the pictures.
Oh, okay, yeah. That guy will do anything, yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, he'll go anywhere. He loves to live in the mud. I think he actually his bed is mud.
Yeah.
That's the way Mark is. He's a great guy though. I miss his TV show. That's a guy I should have reached out to for Animal Con actually.
Next year, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll try to reach out to him for next year. The problem is I don't know if anyone really knows him.
Yeah, but it might be cool for panels too.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It was really cool at Animal Con, like sitting, like with Brett from Tanked, Paul from Gator Boys. Forrest Galante, Robbie Kesey, it was like all these people, Rob from Kings of Pain on History Channel, and just sitting on that panel with like all these people that are
renowned. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a cool thing, man. Next year's going to be ridiculous. We're going to do it up so much bigger next year. I think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited about it. And the dates are, I said this before, dates are September 15th, 16th, 17th now of next year. Same place. So it's going to be exciting to see it grow from where the inception of it to now, like, we're going to add so much more to it to make it more entertaining for people to come. And now so many people that didn't come that were like, I wish I would have came. Now we'll give them a lot more than what they would have gotten if they would have came the first time. So I think it'll be, it's an interesting concept because we're not competing with Tinley. We're not competing with Aquashella. We're not competing, it's something brand new,
thing,
So I think it's going to be, I have, high hopes for the future of it. So let's see what's up with
Maria came back to drop a 50 bomb. She says, we all got our PFDs up here in Alaska. I don't know what that is.
What if PFD?
But I guess it's some type of check you get. But so I'll share a little more wealth. Not a bad check this year. Just under $3,300 for every individual.
I remember this. I lived there. These are like their government checks.
So that's like just for dealing with living in Alaska, you get paid. That's smart.
I'm sorry. Here you go.
Yeah, sorry for the snow guys and the no light.
I remember these checks.
Well, Maria, thank you so much for sharing it. We appreciate it. It goes right into the zoo and in the expansion, so I appreciate it. I promise I'm not going to go drink any of it away.
Maybe half.
Get that tequila.
Yeah, get the Tremana.
We have so much alcohol around
for
us.
years.
I was gonna say
we have like so much. I mean, in the fridge there's beers and drinks and
none of us drink
alcohol and I don't even drink. So and I don't think anyone's even touched any of this stuff since last year.
Yeah, since
like since MJ was here.
yeah. MJ probably was the one.
MJ was crushing everything last year when he was here.
New.
And And
Love you,
so, but yeah, it's cool. What's up? AB is
AB's crushing.
AB's crushing today, man.
Came back to say, do people think you're strange for loving reptiles just as much as you love dogs and cats? My friends and family always think it's strange. I was finally able to change my wife's opinion, and now she loves reptiles as well.
What do you guys think?
It's gotten better over time.
Now that people see it more. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, with your vlog becoming popular, I think Miguel had a big impact as well with like celebrities and athletes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just seeing, and especially, with ball python, just like basically looking at it like art.
Yeah.
I think the last 5 years there's been a good change as far as perception. It's not probably where we'd want it to be yet, but you
but
tell
you're not
somebody,
a freak. You're not a freak anymore.
right? If you're like, well, I have reptiles, the reaction is normally like, oh, my brother, his friend has ball pythons, instead of like,
ew,
what?
Yeah.
I agree with
someone knows somebody. They're like, it's not for me. It's kind of weird, but I know somebody who does it. I feel like that's kind of how it is.
That's
nowadays.
great.
I think you're right. I think that's 100% great description of it, to be honest with you. And I think it's a great conversation starter.
Oh, I love when people ask me what I do for
Yeah.
a living.
I always say it's similar. Did you ever see that old Howard Stern movie, Private Parts? Did you ever see that movie?
I remember.
So there was a quote in there where he said, "Why do people, why do people listen to Howard Stern?" And it was a survey, and the survey was like 40% of people listened to Howard Stern because they loved what he had to say. And then 60% of people listened to Howard Stern because they couldn't stand what he had to say.
Yep.
But they were curious what he'd say next. And I always said that was the same quote I used with reptile people. It's like when I tell people I keep reptiles, or non-reptile people I keep reptiles, 40% of people are like, that's awesome. Tell me more. And then 60% is like, oh, I can't believe that. Tell me more.
Yeah.
The people that don't want to know even more about it. And it was funny. We were walking down the street yesterday to a couple stores. We were going to eat and we were waiting, so we went into a couple stores that we hadn't been in down the street and introduced ourselves as, we own the Reptarium, and like every single person was just fascinated, like they wanted to talk about it. So I agree with you. I think that the tides have changed a little bit, and there is a lot more celebrities now keeping reptiles and making a little bit more mainstream.
And then regionally, somewhere like here that has a reptile attraction, I think that just normalizes it that much more.
Yeah.
I remember back to Rob Carmichael's place, Lake Forest, the suburb that it's in. Everybody knew about this place.
Yeah.
It's a city property, and
it's a landmark. Yeah.
I mean, it's an attraction. It's one of the things you do here.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids grew up going to the summer camps that they have and stuff like it was just a part of the community.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the great things about this place.
Yeah.
Just regionally, outside of the reach it has through social media.
Sure.
But I feel like other places that have a local reptile zoo, if you want to call it that, it's just much more accepted in the community because it's a part of everyday life.
Well, and that's why I'm so pro. Like I don't look at people that want to open up a reptile zoo as competition. I look at it as I welcome it. I'm like, I wish there was a reptile zoo in every single city in the country, because like you said, there's an aquarium in almost every big city, but there's not a reptile zoo in almost every big city. So I would love to see that more mainstream as well, because we do see that, it is weird. I was talking about it the other day where like, you could go to almost any place in Southeast Michigan and mention the Reptarium, and almost everyone knows about it. It's like, it's really crazy the reach that we've gotten in just 4 years.
I mean, if you drive down the street here, you see it.
Yeah.
The signage is like very clear what's going on here.
Yeah. And it's cool, and it's going to be way wilder across the street. Trust me.
Can only imagine.
Like, I mean, you're going to see it from
Mars,
from Indiana. Actually, from Indiana, you're going to see
have that one of those lights in the air with a big frill dragon.
Oh my God, would that be cool? Yeah, that'd be dope. I always that's always been a dream of mine to have a big frill dragon sign, but like a statue, like a giant one. Like they have it at Australian Reptile Park in Gosford, New South Wales, and but I don't know. The city might not let me go that far. I don't know.
They would.
What does Latrocious
Latrocious says, I met Mark years ago at Harrisburg, and he was so cool and friendly. Would love to see him again.
Mark O'Shea.
I guess so, yeah.
In Harrisburg. Why would he be in Harrisburg? That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we of course, you guys met Mark, right? Have you met Mark O'Shea?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to do the NARBC shows. Yeah, so he's a great guy, man. He really is. You know, I mean, he's a really passionate dude. Really knows about his animals. Quirky dude, to say the least, but definitely a really nice guy. Yeah, we all are, especially especially reptile people are all a little bit quirky, but no, it's really cool. So that's good.
Mark Atkins says, I have a 4-year-old male BCI who has been fine since I got him 3 years ago. But recently he bit me and isn't settling too well during the day. Could he just be going through a phase because of his age, or should I be worried?
What do you guys think? I mean, I mean,
a food response bite, or was it just like a love tap, or I mean,
yeah, like did it bite and wrap you? Like was it trying to eat something? But
I mean, my gut feeling would be it's just a one-off deal, you know. And then when you're talking about the settling might be more about you than him, you know what I mean? You may be like now a little bit more weary and thinking that it's not settling during the day, or unless you're talking about it cruising around during the day, and then maybe it's looking for a female. You know, it is the time of the year when males and females breed, so there's always that chance, and so. But I don't know if there's anything else that I mean,
I had a BCI boa for years that was super awesome. It bit me once, and I just kept hanging out with it, and then it was fine. It never happened again.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I just went in the cage probably too quick, and it lit my hand up, and that's it.
Yeah, and I can't think of anything that.
I mean, snake bites aren't that bad.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would be a health issue, you know, where a snake all of a sudden bites.
The word worry definitely shouldn't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about anything there. I think you might be a little bit gun shy now.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Because it is always very, you know, when you know, even like, you know, obviously we got the blood python from you today. It's like I'm handling it, but there's still that like little. Like I don't know this snake real well. Blood python, and it's funny because blood pythons are. I've had my run-ins with a lot of blood pythons, and I will say I've handled your blood python a number of times. She's always been a sweetheart, unbelievable sweetheart. But I've had other blood pythons. Remember when we were down in Nashville?
Yeah.
Or we were heading to Nashville.
Yeah. We were in Tennessee.
Tennessee. And he, like every tub he opened up, oh yeah, this one's really tame. And everyone tried to bite me.
Wink, bing,
everyone
bing.
tried to bite me. I'll never forget, this was a great story. Hey, look who's here. Jay's back.
Welcome
you guys
back.
want your B-dubs right now, or you want me to save it?
It's okay. We're not doing a podcast or anything.
Yeah, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? No, you could do it. You can come in, Jay.
I'm good.
I'm not gonna eat it yet.
You're going to eat it on
On
film.
camera,
Just like
yeah. Just
did you bring
sauce
me some
everywhere.
boneless honey barbecue?
Yeah, Lori's got them upstairs for you.
Thanks, Jay.
Bullshit. He's such a liar.
They're gone by the time you get up there.
You know where liars go, right? They go straight to hell. But yeah, I remember I was at Kevin McCurley's at Nerd a few years back, probably more like 5 years back, and we were doing a filming piece, and we're standing like Kevin was on this side of the table, I was on that side of the table, and my camera guy at the time, this was actually snake bite, so it was before the blog, was this way. He had a T negative blood, which at that time there wasn't a lot of T negative blood, so it was one of the first ones I've seen in person. A big, and he was holding. He's like, "Yeah, this thing is so tame. It's so amazing." And I told my camera guy, "Go, just get a video on my cell phone, because we had already filmed a piece with Kevin holding it." And Kevin literally, and I'm sorry, I actually was doing the video with the cell phone myself, and he went to hand it to me. That thing hit my hand so far, my phone flew like 10 feet. And I mean, I was just leaking blood like crazy. And so my point is that every time I get around a blood python that someone says is tame, I'm a little bit like gun shy.
Yeah.
Like,
PTSD.
I've been bit by this so many times. It seems like
Especially when people say it's tame.
every single time. Jeremy Turgeon did the same thing to me. He was showing me all his blood pythons. He's like, "Oh, this is tame as can be." Every one of them bit me. They were small, so it didn't hurt. But every single one of them, golden eyes, this marbles, all this stuff. Every single one of them. He's like, "No, this one's really chill." Bang, bang. I'm like, I'm done, But yours is pretty amazing.
I mean, she has never once opened her mouth at us or like made any sort of like that she's gonna bite you. Like, I mean, we've given her baths outside. Like, we've taken her out in the grass.
Well, I handed her to a kid today as I was walking by. I didn't even I've had her for 5 seconds, and I'm like, "Here, you want to hold this?"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd rather him get bit than me. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
It's like
Test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, can you
Happy
hold
birthday?
Can you hold this and make sure it doesn't bite? Yeah. But I have an albino T-neg downstairs that is will go. I think he'll probably have a display with the two of them.
Yeah,
That's
really cool.
that way you see it's such a beautiful animal, and that one's pretty chill too.
Yeah,
but it
cool.
did bite Bruce in the face once. It's
deserved it.
Yeah, he
probably
probably deserved it. I agree with you that.
Latrocious came back to say Harrisburg had a yearly reptile show. I got my first tarantula there, and Mark O'Shea had a talk he gave about reptiles inside pictures.
Wow.
By the way, Bubba the Gator was there as well.
Interesting.
Bubba, come back.
I know Bubba was supposed to be at Animal Con.
I know.
But Jim Nessie got COVID.
The viddy?
And he got the vid, and so we'll have him there next year for sure. So
why don't they come to Tinley anymore?
he's in Florida. Oh. Yeah, he moved to Florida.
That
so
makes sense.
so now like Bubba stays. As a matter of fact, I was really working hard to try to get Bubba because like he doesn't keep him now at his house. It's at a preserve, like a zoo, and they don't like interact with him at all. It's just on display.
Yeah.
And I was like, that animal, you work so hard at that animal, like it shouldn't just be like not being paid attention to, you know. And but apparently, you know, Jim still goes there a bit, and he wanted him to be close, which is completely understandable. And but yeah, he can't travel out of the state now with it because it's a Florida animal.
Gotcha. So
yeah, so he's stuck there, and it's too bad because that was a really cool exhibit. As soon as you walked in,
so many pictures with Bubba at Tinley.
every year I would go and every year I would do something with Bubba. So and we did some fun stuff with Bubba.
Yeah, it's my fourth birthday party. Original Bubba.
Really?
At the Nature Museum in Chicago.
Oh my gosh,
That's awesome.
The original Bubba too.
OG
That's
Bubba.
That's the OG Bubba. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Steve Irwin Bubba. That's when Steve Irwin actually knew with that Bubba. So
I think I was dressed as Steve Irwin that day as well.
That's awesome, dude.
See that?
We need
that?
pictures.
Steve
There probably are pictures somewhere.
There are.
Yeah.
Oh my
His
gosh.
dad tells me about.
Yeah, my dad and I would wrangle like 3-foot rubber alligators from
my
one side of the
gosh.
apartment to the other.
Stop.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
awesome.
that's so dope, man. That's cool. Yeah, so it's been in your blood forever, yeah.
In the outfit.
Yeah, it seemed to have been what was going to happen from day one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Becky, as a matter of fact, Becky, I wanted to tell you that I apologize for not responding to your message today. I read her message and I was trying to respond, but I was like
busy,
really busy. So she actually is up in Prince Edward Island. They got just smacked with that hurricane.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and she said
Which is crazy.
She said it was really a rough night last night. So she messaged me saying that she was okay and that it was just a tough night, and so I apologize for not responding to your message, but now I'm responding to you via the podcast.
And she also said, just saying hello, I'll be catching the replay. Much love.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she probably doesn't have very much power down there. So Lori's going to Florida next week for Disney, and it's kind of a bad time.
Oh, this Wednesday they're going to get smashed.
Yeah, yeah. So they're getting. How's your mom feeling about that?
She's dead already.
Is she already gone?
Already gone. Yeah, it's really a fun
She
sport.
blew away already.
Yeah.
Right?
She's they're batting down hatches. Maria just left this morning, and she's
right.
literally right there. Like that, they're down the street.
Oh my gosh, what the
and
heck?
And that's like the area that my folks and her folks both live. So
oh my gosh, so we're gonna lose Maria, your mom, and Lori all in the same day.
I'm a bachelor now, dude.
Damn. So if you need it, just slide into the DMs over there.
Please don't. Please don't. I like my time alone.
Jay's a bachelor now. For all you women out there,
as long as you can deal with white husky hair on all your shit, which is gonna happen.
Oh my god, that's good.
But yeah, hopefully everything will be good.
I hope so, because Lori, this is the thing. Lori doesn't care about this shit, but you know, I'd be freaking out about it's the plane flight. Yeah. You know, like number one, she actually flies in Thursday morning.
So it's the day after it hits that.
Right. You know,
and she's in Orlando too. She'll be in Orlando, right?
Right. But I'm imagining that there's going to be some bumpy flying in that.
Oh, for sure. The low pressure. Yeah.
That's not going to be a pleasant flight. I can't imagine. But hopefully the number one, hopefully the hurricane isn't as bad as they think it's going to be. And number two, hopefully it passes through because it's going to be a bummer.
Yeah. Once it hits Cuba, who knows what happens?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully hopefully it doesn't. I mean, she's going to Disney with her during a hurricane, so it's great timing.
I know.
Yeah.
And our grandson's going too, so it's the first time. He's only 9 months old. So
start him young.
Yeah, start him young. Yeah, get him to Disney right away. He actually, by the way, Jade, did I tell you he started crawling yesterday?
Stop! No way,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's
That's a big step for
a huge
crawl.
thing, yeah,
but you know what I mean.
But I told, and you remember this, Des. Your life changes dramatically after that. It goes from like, okay, I'm taking care of a baby. Now I'm chasing a baby.
A monster. Yeah. No, there's a monster in
I
the house.
actually was looking back on some of his old videos and pictures, and I'm like, damn, I wish I missed the days where he couldn't roll over.
Yeah. Just put him down.
Stuck
He
there.
stays there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
just-
gets so much shit done. Now,
Now you don't pay attention for
now
2
I can't
minutes.
get
Yeah.
anything done.
Yeah, no, it's a totally different thing. The thing that's great about being a grandparent is that you can spend time and then go, okay,
All
we're
right.
done. We're done.
Get 'em all sugared
I'll
up.
see him tomorrow for the first time. I haven't seen him in a couple weeks because we've been busy. So tomorrow we get to head to go see him
That's
tomorrow.
awesome.
So it'll be really good stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. So how old did you say again? 3?
Lars,
Yeah, Lars is.
That's
He's 4 in
crazy.
March.
That's what I was gonna say. He's
He's
4.
a Tinley baby.
He is so big though. I mean,
I
he looks like he's
like
5.
a size 8.5 shoe, and
Yeah.
he's wearing 4T.
And he's into reptiles and the animals, or what do you do?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves coming to see the crocodiles. He asks us to hold snakes. Like,
Oh, that's so cool.
I give him like the stuffed animals of. He's obsessed with dinosaurs. So like when he
that's
sees
nice.
the
Oh, that's over.
monitors, he calls them dinosaurs.
'Cause they
They're,
are.
they're like real
Yeah.
live dinosaurs to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they are to me too.
So into it.
Same, dude.
Yeah.
I look at them as dinosaurs.
Yeah. So yeah, he's really into it. Oh, he had a Cuban out the other day. I have a
Oh my
baby.
gosh.
We have a little baby Cuban.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was holding it, and he was like, "I want to hold it." I was like, "I have to keep one hand on it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
just
yeah.
giving you this thing.
no.
It's not even taped." And he goes, "I love this."
Aw.
And I was like, "Yes."
Oh
That
my
melts my
gosh,
heart.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. Cubans are my favorite.
Yeah.
So they're vicious.
Yeah.
Little monsters.
They are.
They're no joke, dude.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever see the video of Savannah? Like she had a
Oh, that cardboard cutout.
cardboard cutout of her,
Yeah.
and it jumps up
remember
and
that.
bites her face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jumps up and bites her face.
They're no joke.
I
No.
mean, that is ridiculous.
I mean, we've literally been in with like every other crocodilian other than Cuban. I mean, I've never been in with a Cuban.
I've been in
ever.
with Cubans. Unfortunately, it's scary as heck.
Yeah.
I remember I was in at Sean Heffleck's place, and he had a Cuban named Izzy, and
Is he gonna get you?
yeah, is it gonna eat your face? But it was in a relatively small pond, so you could see it was in there, but it wasn't. And the fence was only like maybe 6 feet from the edge of the pond. And he had just rescued it, like maybe, I guess it was at a zoo or a private type of thing. And for like 15 years, he said when he went, the lock was rusted completely shut. And they would just throw food over that. They would never go inside with it
Yeah.
because it was so aggressive. And so literally we go inside this thing, and I've got, like 4 foot, 3 foot, whatever, tongs, and I've got chicken
Not
on
long
it.
enough.
And he's like, this is the deal. She's going to explode out of that water. You have to get that chicken in front of her face.
Yeah.
As soon as she sees the chicken in front of her face, she's going to calm down. But if you don't get the chicken in front of her face, and we're like backed up against a fence.
Yeah, you're
like there's nothing we can do. And I remember like that being probably the most afraid of any crocodilian I ever was.
Dude.
And she did. She ended up exploding out, exploding out of the water. I stuck that thing in her mouth. And then once she ate the first thing, by the time we got to the third, fourth piece of chicken, we were both kneeling down.
Wow.
And just kind of throwing it in her mouth. So completely different disposition. But that first one, my chutney tunnel.
Yeah, you tighten up like a snare drum. for sure.
Tighten up like a snare drum. What does Mark say?
Mark said, thanks for answering my question, guys. His bite was defensive when I took him out. This is about the BCI boa.
Yeah, yep.
And when I say he's not settling too well during the day, I mean he's out exploring, which he never used to do.
It could be a female thing then. It could be he's an old enough male that wants to breed. This is the breeding season. He could just be searching for a female. If that is the case, he'll probably settle, in the next month or two when he realizes he doesn't find a female. So that's probably what. But it doesn't typically get more aggressive at that point. But definitely become more restless.
Yeah.
We see that happening.
Might have just got a random bite, dude. It's okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I promise you. You're not going to die.
Just keep having fun with your animal because you don't want to like have that gun shyness push to like, oh, I'm never hanging out with this animal anymore because it will get worse if you're not interacting with it.
Do you guys have any dream destinations, like reptile / other destinations? I mean, maybe
Australia.
Yeah.
Australia. Is that what you? Yeah. Any particular thing in Australia, or is it?
I just want to see piranhas in the wild.
Oh, so you want to go WA? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, Peter
out
said
there.
he'd take me around if I got out there.
Yeah, Peter's a great guy,
Peter.
man. He would definitely take you around, and he knows the place as well. We're actually going in March.
We were supposed to go a few years ago.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
What happened?
I know. Yeah, we got to go. Well, you're welcome to come. March. It's the first week of March. You're welcome
put it
to
in
come.
my calendar.
You're more than welcome to come. Seriously,
Okay.
It's going to be a great trip. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to fly into
Sydney,
Victoria, Melbourne. So we'll probably fly into Sydney, then down to Melbourne. I've got to do a talk there at a reptile show. Then we're going to fly up to Brisbane, and we're going to go over to the Australia Reptile Zoo. Spend a day with Bob Irwin.
yes, dude.
Then we're going to fly up to Darwin. This is the only problem. We're going to fly up to Darwin. Going to spend a couple days in Darwin doing, like Fog Dam, Nirlangi, or maybe, Arnhem, in the Arnhem area, or Kakadu, whatever the case is. Then we'll fly down to Alice Springs. We're not going to get over to WA though. That's the only downside to the trip, because that's like that. You almost have to take like 4 or 5 days to do, because you're going to have to fly into Perth and then drive all the way up to the coast to get to the area that Parentes are from. So we just don't have the time for that. But we're going to do that, and then we'll fly into New South Wales. Then we're actually going to fly over to New Zealand and spend a couple days in North Island, a couple days in South Island. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome to come.
Thanks for the invite. I'll definitely think about that.
I mean, it's great. So, but Peter will be with us. He's gonna, be our guide, and I have a ton of other friends there, so I'll be popping into everybody that I know up there and stuff like that. So it should be a good time. But so Australia, what do you got?
I mean, I would, everyone has Australia on that list.
Yeah.
But Papua to find scrub pythons is a must for me.
Yeah.
And throughout Chihuahua in Mexico to look for rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Now, have you ever been to have you been to Bob Ashley's place?
Yeah,
we actually were just there.
That's why we didn't go to Arlington.
Oh,
2 weeks ago.
We just were in
Did you catch some like Michelai or anything like that? Or
So we were in New Mexico the day before, had a pretty damn good day with a few friends, found a couple clobberi, found 4 blacktails, some prairies, some atrox, some colubrids. So it was.
But did you get up into the Chihuahuas at all, into the mountains?
We took one morning in the Chiricahuas and didn't find a damn thing.
No.
That sucked.
So Bob told me that
he
if
took us road cruising too. And
Bob took you?
Yeah.
Bob told me if I went there for 7 days that I could catch 10 species. That's what he said. He goes, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
He goes, I guarantee you can catch 10 species if you give me 7 days.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh, wow.
I kept trying to see a Gila too, because he kept telling me those would be out, and
They didn't
we
have.
did
He's
see,
a liar.
We saw a baby mountain lion.
we
though.
did. And
Oh, that's
it was
cool.
carrying a snake.
What?
It was dinner time.
What? That's badass.
Wow.
Just crossing the road at night. I got a yearling.
It is a beautiful place. His place is really cool too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Incredible.
it's just crazy that he built such a wild thing in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, are you?
love it.
So
Like,
I got
there's literally no cell phone service.
No,
There's
you
no
can't do
service.
anything. You're
Just-
screwed.
They have really good Wi-Fi there, but like if you're not,
Yeah, if you're not in the place, you're done.
Yeah.
So, are you going to retire there?
No.
Because every reptile person has to retire there.
Portland, Arizona.
I'm retiring in Texas,
In Texas, what part of Texas?
near Austin.
Austin. Are you going to try to buy a place soon?
Actually, I am.
Good, good. Austin's great. Texas is great,
Yeah,
man. That's the place.
We have an
base-
opportunity to expand the rodent company there.
Okay.
And then I just love the weather, and I would love to have all the reptiles down there.
Yeah, it's a
So
great, and it's such a great. Like the
definitely
laws are
on my
great.
mind. Yeah.
I mean, it's the place to go. I mean, I think you're going to see a mass exodus from Florida into Texas, and Austin's just great. That's like the town. That's like the booming town, and it's So I'm jealous. I love Texas, and I'll be down there in a couple
We have
weeks.
a lot of friends down there too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff on there. I'll be down there in 2 or 3 weeks. But just in Dallas and Houston, but aquarium stuff. Fucking aquarium stuff. What's wrong with me? I'm going for fish. I don't care about these damn reptiles. They both have scales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like almost the same thing. It's just reptiles in the water, basically, is what it is.
Exactly.
So cool. Got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, cool. Well, I tell you what, you guys are amazing. Like I said, do me a favor, guys, that watch this afterwards or during. Go give them some love. If you need rodents, you go to Cold Blooded Cafe. I can follow them on all the social. We can do Mrs. Monitor. We've decided.
I think that's our chat's conclusion.
Should I do it, guys? Like,
do it.
Literally, like right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it to
it.
end the podcast.
We're gonna do it live.
Do it live.
Live
Do it.
name change.
Yeah. The live
I don't
change.
even know how to do it.
Perfect. That's a great start.
That's a great
Do I
start.
just edit this?
I think you could just edit your profile
Yeah.
name. I think there's like
Oh my god.
it's a big moment.
It's happening. It's happening.
Should I do MS monitor or MRS? Because MIS is taken, I think.
I think MS.
I think MS.
MS.monitor.
No,
MS?
no dots.
No dots?
MS Monitor. How does it look? How does the MS Monitor look?
Oh, it makes me do an underscore. Oh,
Makes you do
Oh,
that.
never mind. Just kidding.
Let me see how it just I want to visually see
Yeah, I
it.
need to
This
visualize.
translates to audio only very well.
Yeah, very well. Yeah. No one knows what the hell's going on. Perfect. How's it look there, Bri?
I'm going to do MRS just to see how that looks.
With no dot, MRS might look better.
Yeah, I think Miss MRS.
Because MS, people might be like,
Yeah, it's like
a
Smith-
state.
It
Miss
makes
Monitor.
me seem like I'm older and more.
Yeah,
intelligent, maybe.
intelligent. I like the MRS.
Yeah.
because then you see Miss Monitor, the MS Monitor.
It could be like,
It's like-
Minnesota
yeah,
Monitor.
like
what you
M
got?
M's Monitor.
Minnesota.
M's Monitor.
Minnesota
All right.
Monitor there,
Should I
bud.
do this?
What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
hit it. We got
Let's
it.
do it. What's the worst that happens?
I mean, I literally have had the same name since 2013.
Come on, do it.
Okay.
It's time for a change.
I'm
Time
going,
for
I'm
a
going.
change.
Gosh.
Sometimes you just got to change.
So everybody go follow Mrs.
Miss Monitor, Mrs. Yeah,
It's Mrs. Monitor.
Mrs. Monitor,
Yeah.
which is
It didn't
MRS.
work.
Monitor.
It didn't work.
How do I?
This is
Oh my
compelling.
gosh.
This is great. This is great.
Maybe
This
I
is live
should.
content.
Maybe I
Great
should
live
close
content.
it and open it back up.
Look, it's
Did it
there.
work?
It's there.
What?
Hey.
Oh my god!
I gotta see it. I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
So you guys go follow Mrs. Monitor.
I gotta see
Give
this.
some love.
Mrs. Monitor. I gotta see this right now.
Oh gosh, I'm scared.
I'm doing it. It's Mrs. Monitor.
Bang,
Wow.
bang, bung.
Oh my gosh! It
Raise the
happened.
roof there, Des.
Sorry, guys. We gotta get her some followers, please.
Yeah, I've been
Mrs.
stagnant
Monitor.
Watch
for
the
way
reels.
Yeah, watch the
too
reels.
long.
Watch Des get bit by a giant snake. That's always a good one.
That
That's
was a
on
good one.
TikTok.
That's a banger, though.
That's a
You gotta get
banger.
that on reels.
That's all of Python. I should probably put it.
You
on reels.
know, 100% should put it on reels for
I
sure.
mean, that was an interesting day.
Yeah.
I was training employees how to clean baby corn
Oh, they
steaks.
yeah.
That
They
elevated
were
quickly.
in the room, and I'm cleaning this giant olive python, and I turn my back like with the water bowl,
Yep,
and
I
it
saw it.
chases me out
I know.
of the enclosure.
It was such a good video.
grabs the back of my arm and just wraps me.
You did a great job
And
reacting, though.
These girls were so horrified and
Oh my
scared,
gosh.
and they were like, "What should we do? Oh my God, should we call the cops? Should we
Call the
police?"
cops.
I'm like,
Yeah.
The cops
I'm
gonna
like,
do?
Yeah,
I
let's call the
need
police.
you to start unwrapping it so I can get to the mouth and
Yeah.
I can get this thing.
It's a
off
bad
me.
area to get bit by.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like right behind my arm.
No, you handled it well,
It was
though.
awful.
That was
it was,
awesome.
and that video was like a recording off our security cameras.
I could tell, yeah.
Which is
Which
great.
almost made it better.
It,
Yeah,
no, it definitely
because
made it better.
I wasn't planning that.
Yeah,
at
and
all.
I think that was a banger.
That's
That was
that's
good.
the video where my TikTok went viral.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
that on reels. There you
Yeah.
go.
I
There you
will,
go.
guys.
Reels
oh
it
no,
up
but
there.
I did post a reel today when we were waiting for you guys to get here, and it's at like 35,000.
Hey,
that's
I don't know
nice.
what happened. It
Get
just
those numbers up.
it
Yeah.
just blew the fuck up.
That's awesome.
All
That's good
day,
stuff.
my watch isn't beeping. I had to turn my silence on because
Oh my gosh.
That's a good problem to
Instagram
have.
wouldn't Stop.
That's awesome. That's always
Yeah.
a good. That's good. I wish my Instagram would do that. Damn it.
But yeah, I'm going
55
all reels because I like can't get
Oh yeah, that's right.
following
Yeah,
right now.
that's
It did. Yeah,
Yeah, I did. That's right. We had a good week. We had a good week.
Yeah,
man. We had
yeah.
a good week on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok in particular.
The ticky.
The Tiki fucking crushed it this
Yeah,
week.
my
And,
TikTok's way higher than my
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, I know. We don't get these weeks very often where it's like everything was buzzing along. We had a good week on YouTube. We had a good week on Instagram. We had a good week on
Let's
TikTok,
keep that momentum going.
And so let's keep it going. I'm working on Snapchat now.
Dang, dog.
Snapchat.
You're gonna be a snapper now.
Snapchat's my next venture. Hopefully, we'll have a snap show here within the next 3 weeks or so. That's the game plan.
Mason's doing pretty well on his.
Mason's doing great, and he does really good. I like Mason's
love Mason,
content.
yeah.
I think he's a great guy. I love everything about him. So, super sweet dude.
Yeah.
So I like him a
it's
lot.
really
You know,
cool to us.
and like I said, Armin's really starting to do well on his social. Josh from SB Reptile,
they're all crushing.
They're all just doing really good. They're the next generation of people that are going to set the bar at a level. And so us old people, like
old timers,
we have to keep up with these whippersnappers.
They
the only
can't
way I
keep
can
up
do
with
it,
us, dude.
You can't keep up with me, baby.
No chance.
You can try all you want, man. I'm going to put out more content.
That's a fact.
I'm Gary Vee-ing your ass.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. I've already gotten 4 new followers.
Woo!
Crushing
Crushing it.
monitor. See that, man?
Oh my
Way to go,
God.
guys. You guys are great. So, well, thank you guys for coming here. It's awesome to be on the
Yes,
thing. And
this was fun.
thank you guys for joining us on the chat room and the live. And I guess that will be it for the night. And
right.
we will see you next week. Love you guys.
Later.
Night.
That's fun. Good job, guys.
That was fun.
Good stuff, man.